to work. This is so hype. Alright, I'm gonna send out the broadcast again. Nikakava Avocado is Horus. That's the first thing I want to see in my YouTube page. Gonna scribble on the screen to make sure everything works. Because fucking special. Special. I love it when my computer acts all special. Should be fixed. Should be fixed. Ah, yeah, it's not gonna work. Oh well. That server will do then. Alright, Space Marine time. Alright, back. Okay, before I deleted the other stream, I was gonna draw a Night Lord Mark III. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Space Marine. I'll probably try doing streaming and drawing more often. The only problem is Escolar has started. Okay. What do we want to do to add? I want to also make it this guy an apothecary, because apothecaries are very funny. So I'm gonna have. I usually have like a cybernetic eye of some kind, so they can look at the gene seed. If you don't know what gene seed is, each Primarch has their own set of genes, like every human on Earth. And basically, depending on what gene seed is depending on what legion you're from. So in this case, Night Lords, you'd basically white boy Russian, as not Russian, but like white boy, like pure. You're basically the Joker in skin color. That's how white you are, but like that's just your skin. You look like a white boy. Like a extreme white one. I can say that because I'm white. And also, I don't think the Night Lord's gene seed has really been that tainted, so technically they probably have some of the most purest gene seed of the Creator Legions. Most of them are just like doing stupid shit in the Eye of Terror, or just going out and... Oh, that's the wrong eraser. That's my texture brush eraser. Where's my round? You get to see all my brushes that I use, bought and default in Procreate. Alright. Night Lord. Funny Night Lord helmet thing. Little details here and there are pretty sweet. Oh my god! I love mulch! I don't think a Space Marine would ever say they love mulch. Depending on who you ask, they'll be like, what the fuck? They probably don't even know what mulch is anymore. That's how far in the future they are. 40,000 years. It's not called Warhammer 40,000 because there's 40,000 Warhammers. Well, there probably is, knowing how many factions have Thunderhammers and that equivalent. But, it's called Warhammer 40,000 because it's 40,000 years in the future. I know, so creative. They could have called, like, Jimmy Space. I wish this Night Lord was a tad bit more interesting. I might... Ooh! Genius. Make a skull-shaped pattern on the front, but have the goofy breathers still. I'm not playing any tunes right now, but I probably will soon. It'll probably be Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. This new Space Marine game dropped. So I might play some music from that, because it's honestly better than the first game. I like the first game. The music is that it wasn't as, like, dark as the new game's soundtrack is. The new game's soundtrack feels more 40k, in my opinion, rather than, like, some Star Wars bootleg. Not to diss on Warhammer. I love Warhammer's aesthetic and the tunes that come from it. fan-made or non-fan-made. Give the helmet skull some teeth. Fun fact, the orcs, the funny greenskins, they use teeth as currency. Human teeth are pennies or cents in our terms, well, at least for American money, and basically their dollars are orc teeth because orcs are the best. Wog. I mean, they are pretty cool, unless you're anyone but not, that isn't an orc or you're a Gretchen. In that case, you are chopped liver to them, and they will probably eat you or something. Orcs are pretty much, they're fungus people too, which is also pretty cool and funny. Which is why it's weird whenever you see, so like, never mind, I'm not going to get into that shit, because I don't want to get cancelled. Basically when an orc dies, I know that this is not an orc, but when an orc dies, they turn into a fungus. They go and turn into fungus spores, and they land somewhere else, and another orc comes from that fungus, and that's how orcs keep reappearing on planets. Kind of an interesting in-lore reason, kind of silly. Funny with it. I'll probably upload, I don't know if anyone cares, but probably upload a speed paint of this if it's any good. Right now I like how the sketch is turning out. Oh, I love it. I love it when it does this. So fartin' annoying whenever like I tap on the page and it adds a brushstroke. It's so stupid. And it's always like a solid line. I think it's, yeah, that's why, because I have touch on, I think. That's a problem. Should have it so it only detects this, so then I don't get incidents like this. I guess if I was finger painting, that'd be useful, but I'm not a finger painter. Not in any way, shape, or form am I ever gonna want to paint with my finger. I had to break it to y'all. I cannot paint with my fingers. That sounds really weird, but if you know how to do that, you are probably really cool. Unless, like, you're some notorious asshole that, like, robs children, hospitals, or some shit. I don't know why you would do that. This isn't ready for, or not. If you know what that game is, you know how controversial that game is. I personally don't think there's any controversy with the game. So Ready, this is not Warhammer 40,000, but Ready or Not is essentially like this very realistic SWAT shooter, where essentially you have to be very tactical. You have to be first responders to like shootings and all that kind of stuff. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna get demonetized now. Yeah, I don't really give a shit. And like they have a lot of creepy and disturbing levels that like everyone has just gotten used to. Like, oh yeah, that place got destroyed. That's normal on a daily basis, especially here in the States. It's sadly a common occurrence. So yeah, I like Ready or Not because it kind of spreads word around about horrible things that happen in the world, because everyone's kind of desensitized because of the news. It's like it's so common that like not many people care anymore. That's why I don't understand when people are like, "Oh, this game is so evil. Why are they program this?" Because we're all being desensitized. You're probably desensitized and you don't even know it. It's really unfortunate. That's enough about ranting about real life problems. Let's go back to Warhammer 40,000. I swear if anyone starts ranting about female space marine, female space marines or custodies, I don't know. I heard there were originally female space marines, but then like a bunch of people were like, that's stupid, only guys, because guys only can play Warhammer. It's like how guys can be the only main characters in Star Wars, like, what? So then they made Sisters of Battle, that made some people happy. They're like, oh, those girlies get their own faction now. And then when they added female custodians, which honestly, I always thought there were female custodians. I'm not trying to say that just like please people and anger people, but they're not Space Marines. They don't have gene seed that is from a male Primarch. Instead, they are heavily trained by like other custodians, and I don't think the Emperor, but like they're selected individuals. So it makes sense for there to be female custodians. So I don't fucking understand why everyone's whining and bitching that they're female custodians. I remember one time this one frickin' loser messaged me, like, pinged me in DMs on Discord for some shitty reason. Like, female custodians in animation, pinged me again, and I blocked them. Well, I probably didn't on accident, because for some reason they keep finding me. It's really freaking annoying. I should just, next time they message me, I'm going to block them, because I accidentally closed the tab, because I didn't want to deal with that. They kept pinging me, they kept calling me, it's so annoying. Don't understand, like, why the Warhammer community is like, oh yeah, this is, I like the things that they like, but not to, like, the extreme level. Every community's got their weirdos, and Warhammer is full of a bunch of smelly people. Especially if you go to any of those tournaments. God forbid if you go there. I'm just being angry and dissing at this point. I don't want to keep doing that. I'm going to zoom far out. That looks like a skeleton skull to me, except with a visor. I think that actually looks pretty cool. I like how that came out. Wait, do I want to... This might be just a little bit more of an attention to detail, but I'm adding like the upper parts of the eye to the top of it. Okay, yeah, that definitely looks a bit better. Actually, I really like this helmet design. Games Workshop, hire me in this for like $1 million, and this helmet design is all yours. Alright, bet. Actually, no, Games Workshop wouldn't care. They'd just be like, hey, can you join on like our art team? Doesn't credit me for anything and pays me like £1 or whatever the British currency is per hour. I remember I went to Warhammer World once. That was so much fun. As much as I like making fun of Games Workshop and the crazy Warhammer fans that just like rant over literally everything, I think it's really fun to talk to like the store managers because they enjoy the hobby as much as we do. They're just regular people. They're not like corpo suits or slime balls that are legit great unclean ones in real life. They're just normal people that really like Warhammer 40,000, and they own stores or run Warhammer World, and they're really fun to be with. You could talk to them for hours if you could. I usually don't because I want them to help people with like painting and that kind of stuff, and also like pre-orders because there's a lot of pre-orders that Games Workshop does. I gotta say, I've been playing a crap ton of Space Marine 2, have not been the campaign. I mean a crap ton, I mean, whenever I feel like it, I play Space Marine 2 instead of other games. Do 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 do. Okay, no, I'm not singing the FNAF theme. Hor hor. Shut up. This is no FNAF at Freddy. This is a Space Marine. I love Space Marines. I mean, I kind of understand why people make fun of people who... no, I don't get it. Space Marines are cool, but then people are like, Ultramarines are stupid. Sure, Games Workshop makes them like the head of literally everything Warhammer related, but that does not give you the excuse to like unload your colon all over Ultramarine fans that are just trying to have a good time playing the game. I get 3D printing Warhammer too, but I also don't get the whole point of saying, of saying I'm gonna go to a Games Workshop store and bring proxy models only and see what the reaction is. What? They kicked me out? I seriously hope no one's done that, but if someone was, I would not be surprised. As much as I like the 3D printing side of Warhammer, Games Workshop doesn't like it. So you either have devout loyalists to Games Workshop or devout heretics to 3D printing. I'm just saying that from like Warhammer terms. I like both sides of the hobby, but I prefer basically if I have a list idea for an army. Let's say like I want to play Eldar for some reason. I want to make a small list. I will then 3D print myself a small Eldar force, but only use it for testing because they're really cheap. And then when I actually like the list that I have, I will buy the models that I need and pray that Games Workshop doesn't nerf me into a horde army. And so it seems like Games Workshop executives are doing are like, if everyone's a terrible army, no one will be. Adeptus Custodes. No, it's not because they're female Adeptus Custodes. It's because again of the female Custodes. It's because their codex is really bad. I find it funny that Bricky, one of the people at Adeptus Ridiculous, he's really funny. He said that he was pretty sure that the female Custodes was there to disguise or hide the terrible codex, which is really funny. If you don't understand a single fucking word I'm talking about, I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry if you leave. That's my fault. Warhammer is very confusing. And I know not my entire... I often switch fan bases and fandoms often. I need to put multi-fandom in all my different social media platforms, including this one. Because when I get on a Cult of the Lamb spree, everyone's like, oh, you like Cult of the Lamb a lot. You must be a Cult of the Lamb person. Nope! Warhammer, then Don't Starve, then Doom, then Halo, then it doesn't matter. I do way too many games. I just put multi-game account. I mean, occasionally Ultra Kill, but I don't make music for that game. I only like making art for independent artists that make fan art for that game. As much as I like the concept of the game, it's kind of eh. I think it's kind of overrated. I do like some of the people I've talked to in that community, but otherwise some people are just absolute shitheads. This is ironic. I was kind of like, I used to be one of those guys who was like, Ultra Kill is like one of the greatest games I've ever played, because I was so addicted to it. And then after I beat it, I was like, well, not beat it, it's not out yet, fully out yet. I'm like, huh, it's not much to do. I was like, Ultra Kill is one of those games where like you play once and you don't really play it ever again. It's like the gameplay might be fun the first time, but then it just isn't fun the next few times. At least in my opinion. I still somewhat like it, kinda not. I don't hate it. I don't like it. I think it is okay at best. And if you like the game, that is okay. You don't like the game, that is also okay. I'm not gonna be like under the mayo and be like, this game fucking blows ass. And like, there should be ammo, bro. This game isn't meant to have ammo. Although I'm starting to wonder if maybe like the weapons won't be as powerful with ammunition, which I think might be interesting to see. I know it's an Ultra Kill mod that has ammo in the combat rooms. Yeah, one of my friends like pointed out a lot of things to me, like, yeah, Ultra Kills maybe is a little overrated. I'm like, I can see that, but he's like really gung ho about like the music that isn't fan made usually is kind of, it's either good or what the freak. Okay, that's enough talking about Ultra Kill. Stupid GoPro robot. I don't mean that in a harsh way at all. I will say though, the Guttermen are like my favorite enemy type in the entire game because of the design. They look like a World War I or like II inspired enemy with like a combination of like sci-fi elements. It's really cool. If you haven't seen a Guttermen, not Gutter Tank. Gutter Tank looks more sci-fi. Looks like a Hot Wheels car. No, I'm kidding. The Guttermen are like the ones with like the domes on their head. They've got like glasses and they got the coffin on their back. They kind of look like a space marine. I've drewn one once and then made my own version of one. Not for Ultra Kill though. Someone who's and about Ultra Kill. I sure do talk about it a lot whenever I bring it up. I'm so happy that the stream is finally working. As before, if you weren't here for that, which I'm pretty sure most of you were, it was just stuck on a still image, and you could hear me talking, but you couldn't see me move anything. So the sketching process, well, this is still kind of a sketching process, was like really boring. Because wanna know why? My app didn't work. Bloody heck, Microsoft, get better. Speaking of other video games, the new Sony console, new in quotation marks, looks really weird. I mean, I understand a point for PS5 Pro, but I don't understand is why it's $700 and there's barely any difference. There's like very slight details, like in the presentation that they showed the PS5 game, The Last of Us Part 2. There's a window in the clip. The window on the PS5 was like you couldn't see into the window, but on the other one you could see through the window. Like, wow, that's totally worth $700 for no disk drive or stand or literally anything. Literally, I feel like the only reason to buy a PS5 Pro is just so you can like be like, yeah, I bought a PS5 Pro. I love wasting my money on Sony. They deserve all my money, especially after the Helldivers fiasco that they love getting themselves into. That's not a realistic bone, and it kind of looks like a dick, so I'm gonna get rid of that. So instead, I'm just gonna do wings. Sigma. Shut up. I'm so happy it's a Friday. Because otherwise, I'd be going to sleep right now. Because I freaking love my school, guys. I'm not gonna dox where I live, though. That'd be freaking stupid. And it would also get me in big trouble there. So I refuse to dox. Alright, cool. Let's shrink the eraser down and add some details. Forgot to turn on music, whatever. I'm not turning it back on. I usually play Trepang 2 or Call of the Lamb music over my stuff. I said I might play Space Marine 2 music, but I'm thinking against that. I don't want Games Workshop at my throat. Let's smooth this out a little bit. It doesn't look very well refined besides the skull. Let me fix this. Might look more refined once I add color to it, which will be fun. That smudge brush does not make any sense. To use for this basic ass painting. Okay. I don't know why I just added a bunch of random scribbles there. Whatever. Do 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 do. Don't know what to talk about anymore without going on a tyrannical rant. This guy is so soy jacked. That's why. Honestly, the Night Lords are so cool. I like them, but some of them don't like each other, because like some of them are like, I like being a wimp. I like targeting weaklings, and then when Space Marines show up, I run away. Which is really true, because like even if their enemy is like severely damaged, they will still run away if they don't overwhelmingly like know them, or not know them, overwhelmingly outnumber them. Kind of crazy. Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines. Wish there was like a live indicator on Discord for like YouTube too. Just so that way then when people ping me or like my friends want to play Siege with me, which I just recently got thanks to a friend, um, they won't be like, "Oh my god, why aren't you listening to me wanting to play Siege?" I'm live streaming. They probably don't even know. Hey, whatever, it's fine. I don't play Siege with them today, I'll play with them tomorrow. Oh, thank God. I thought a Snapchat notification popped up on my iPad. I was like, oh, God. Let me exit out my gallery really quick. There we go. Probably just, like, some weird shit. Because, like, weird color drop thing was still above. Like, I'm not color dropping anything, cuh. Kind of funny that my mom thinks that means cunt. He does not have a power pack, but I think that'd probably be better for him not to have a power pack at the moment. Probably do a 100 subscriber thing pretty soon. Probably like a Discord or some shit. Twitch.tv/balls. That's crazy. What the fart? This might be a short stream. I'm getting burnt out. Yeah, it's probably because I need to announce these sooner. So, that's my fault. If that's completely and utterly my fault, not you guys, you people's. It's not everybody else's fault. It's my fault because I need to probably announce when I'm gonna stream, post it, and then be like, I'll be streaming at blah 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 this time. You can wait there. You can like be cool and watch it, and or maybe also be cool and watch my videos, or just don't do either of that and still be cool, because you know I'm not an asshole. Oh, this is also Friday the 13th, right? I completely forgot this is Friday. It's Friday the 13th, or maybe I didn't forget. I just forgot. Well, excuse me. I didn't forget. I was just like, oh, I'll just stream today. Frick this. But I guess maybe it was just bad luck. I've had one really good stream, had a couple awkward ones. That's mainly my fault. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, cool. Base of the Space Marine is done. The main sketch. Time to export this puppy when I get a background. So we got a dark gray or medium gray. Then we add in some Kular. I don't know how I'm going to do the coloring. What I think I'm going to do is try not using a gradient map this time. So get some blue. You cannot tell me that they're... Actually, wait. No. I'm just going to export it as is and just add some other colors. What is bro cooking? I don't know what he's cooking, but it's a Night Lord. That's pretty cool, man. I know, man. Night Lords are pretty cool. I usually draw more grittier stuff, but I like using the hard round brush. Just to say, hey guys, you don't need fancy brushes. Just use your default hard round brush without pressure, opacity, and size if you have that too. Alright. In gallery, select, duplicate, duplicated, copy on top of each other. Alright. I guess it's my turn. Alright, and gradient map. That is really weird. That is not weird. That is okay. That is okay. It's bad. Mead. I mean mid. Shit. I don't do mead. Promise. kind of like how this one looks. I'm going to keep this one, I think. Now, this is where the fun begins. Oh, what the fart? That doesn't look like what I was expecting it to look like. Hold on. I might actually keep it like that. Yeah, that's not what I was expecting. Oh well, looks fine. Yeah, let me add a brighter red. There we go. Actually, I think it would look better with like a brighter orange. And then yellow. I learned this from an art class. Trust. Bone. And yes, I'm using a smoke fog cloud brush. This isn't a default one from Procreate, but they have like a, I don't know what color. I know they have blue armor and like silver, steel, lead trim. So yeah, get that blue. Actually, let me grayify it. Clone drone in the danger zone. That's the name of a game, I think. Dude. Add some more red in there. Wait, I want to see what color this is. No, it's like a red, pink thing. I want to be too dark. That's better. Too dark. I'm going to go gray. Too dark. A lot of experimenting. Keep note of that. So if you're like, I feel like I'm bad as an artist, I felt like that too at a time. Trust me, you do not want to see my old artwork. It is fugly. Pretty sure everyone can relate. We're not all masterpieces. We're not all master artists right away. It takes time and practice. No matter how much reference you use, you gotta learn your anatomy. Via reference, of course. Don't listen to the people that are like, oh, references for losers. If you listen to those guys, I think you're not gonna get anywhere, unfortunately. Those people don't know what they're talking about. And they never will. Sure, at some point you should memorize things from your imagination, but it's okay to use reference. I use reference all the time. This one I did not use reference for since I've drawn Space Marines so many times. But I could have, and it might be slightly different because of it. There might be slight details off that I don't even know about until I look at a Space Marine. So this is just how I draw Space Marines. So clunky and bulky. Chunky. Chunky Kong. That sounds weird. Never mind. Oh my god. What are you doing? 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 Auto select. Oh my god. That was a bad idea. Alright. That really did hurt my eyes. My bad. My bad, people. Epileptic warning. That's not right. I need to use you. Oh yeah, by the way, cool thing about Night Lords is that they have like thunder bolts all over their armor. It's really interesting. This isn't painted on, not actual thunderbolts. If they had actual thunderbolts, I think that'd be lethal. Should. More effects. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm just talking to myself in weird Night Lord voice. Joy at the sight of a Night Lord. Night Lords are so Sigma and cool until they flay your flesh off. Yes, they love doing that. They love flaying flesh and then wearing set flesh as like loincloths and shit. It'd be really funny if they had a dick loincloth. That'd be fire. Actually, no, that'd be freaking gross. I really do enjoy penning with this brush. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's like really basic. It's still a lot of fun to use. It's not very flawed. You can easily make anything you want with it. This takes practice, of course. But, so there's a lot of things in art taking practice. And some battle damage. Holy crap. I'm so tired, and I'm not talking a crap ton. That's probably why. Swear to God, something keeps flashing up on my computer. It's really weird. Your computer has a virus? Shut up. Racist. Pretty cool. This area is pretty dark. I love painting armor and mechs and robots and people. A lot of things. I'm glad I have a very versatile artwork. Tiresome. Not drawing this, but like me, I'm super tired. I've said this so many times, but I need to say it again. I'm tired. I'm probably going to be closing it out for the night pretty soon. Might stream again tomorrow, probably not, since I want to watch one of my online friends stream art, and I want to see what he's going to draw, so, you know. I really do love it when like people like say like asking me for art advice because I really appreciate it. It means that they really like my art and all that stuff. But also like they want to know how I do things, which is really cool. What's up? The sky. Hee hee hee. Oh my god, that took so much effort to do. It's not even my best. I can't even do it anymore. God damn it. Alright. Pretty cool. Great. I don't know why, but all of a sudden now I have the Lavender Town theme from Pokemon stuck in my head, and it's creeping me the fuck out. If you know, you know. It's that one song that a lot of old creepypasta people used to use, like, all of a sudden, Sonic shot hyper-realistic blood from his penis and said, this song will make you want to shoot blood from your cock! Honestly, that would go so hard. Actually, I find it really funny that that's something Cannibal Corpse said. They're a metal band, and they're like one of the nicest metal bands out there, but they seem like complete utter maniacs based off because they're a death metal band. I think they're death metal or something like that. And if you interview all their interviews, they seem like generally nice people, and they're also very goofy. It sounds fun until it happens to you, he then said as he whipped out more blood. I'm like, hyper realistic, of course. God. Imagine if anyone new was like seeing the playback and all of a sudden they're like, what the fuck? Why is he talking about Sonic shooting hyper realistic blood out of his cock and screaming weird shit? I don't know, but if you just got here, my apologies. I mean, geez. Fart. 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 Yeah, I'm a weird person if you couldn't tell. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for complimenting my art. I really appreciate it. Oh shit. No, we're good. Peace emoji. Very hype. Alright, I'm actually going to try to talk about some things now. Alright, so Night Lords, they're pretty cool from Warhammer 40,000. They're I've already talked about the Primarchs and all that stuff. I have not talked about Konrad Curze. Yes, that's his name. I know Curze is like an insult somewhere, but like, he's like the Primarch of the Night Lords. He was found on the Shramo, and he was kind of a vigilante, and eventually was like, I hate criminals, so I'm gonna brutally torture them. All of them! Until the point where his planet's crime rate went to 0. He was mentally unstable. And then, when the Emperor found him, he was like, hey, you can come with me, I'll give you your own legion. And he's like, okay, fine, I guess. And of course, he saw the fate of Dorn, I believe Ferrus Manus, and the Emperor. But the Emperor's fate was so terrible, he almost gouged out and ripped out his eyes. That's how bad it was. So, like, but before you could do that, the Emperor was like, you're not doing that. Here's your Space Marine Legion, and calm the fuck down. He's like, bruh, I know how you die. That's crazy. Because he had, like, the ability to see the future, like Sanguinius, the Blood Angel Primarch. But, much worse. He'd see a darker future instead that was twisted often. Like, he saw Ferrus Manus' head being cut off. He saw Dorn being dragged away by Iron Warriors, we can presume. And he saw the Emperor's fate, and it was so bad that he wanted to, like, not be able to see anymore, which is really creepy. What's next? The Night Lord went eventually later down the heresy. He did a bunch of stupid crap. Like, I remember him, the Salamanders, and Vulcan did not get along. Vulcan, the Primarch of the Salamanders, they were teamed up to be like, let's fight. They had to work together on conquering a world, and like the Night Lord's strategies were so unorthodox. So like, Vulcan's like the nicest Primarch. He was like, Konrad Curze, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know, Lamau, use those civilians as shields. Because his whole point is to spread fear. It got to the point where, like, if Imperial worlds weren't they wouldn't just, sometimes they would send, like, the Imperial Fists to fortify everything, or the Death Guard to, like, break their morale and that kind of stuff. They would send the Night Lords to scare the shit out of people. And they're like, oh, okay, we're not paying our taxes. The Emperor's like, are you sure you don't want to meet my son Konrad Curze, the rabbit animal? And they're like, okay, sorry. And then occasionally, and they're like, no, it's too late. They're coming now. Have fun being occupied by a bunch of criminals. Like the worst. What even got worse for Konrad Curze is that when he left, the planet's crime rate increased dramatically. Again, his home world. So eventually, after he basically went insane and left the Imperium, he destroyed his homeworld by watching it go kablooey. He then joined the Traitors in the Horus Heresy. He didn't really do much. I think he did do some things. He captured Vulcan and was so confused that he wouldn't die, so he got enraged. So he just found ways, instead of being like, I can't break him physically, but I can sure as hell break him mentally. So he did a bunch of things that would like cause Vulcan to break. Like, Vulcan loves saving civilians, so what he'd do is he would capture civilians, Konrad Curze, and then he would basically make Vulcan watch them die in the most horrific ways possible. Like, maybe Space Marines would come in the room and just hold Vulcan back, and just watch the Space Marines die. Or sometimes Vulcan would like have to hold up like a something that, and eventually he would get tired and let go, and all the civilians would die, but he wouldn't. Until the point he broke free, and yeah, he went on trial too, I think, but then he left said trial, I believe. I'm not sure. And then later down after the heresy, he was so depressed that when an assassin was sent to kill him, he was like, "Yeah, just do it," and then he died. It is unknown whether he's alive. I know there's a theory that that he possibly had like an Eldari Soulstone, but I doubt it. He's probably dead, unfortunately. Everyone's favorite maniac is gone. However, the Night Lords are not very active in the modern 40k setting due to the fact that they're now just a bunch of random war bands. Like the most cool, although the coolest Night Lords are kind of like, man, we suck. I want to be remembered by the Imperium, not be hated and then forgotten. So they basically like want to bring the Night Lords back to their former glory, and I think they're kind of succeeding, but not much has been introduced on that. I would like to see where Games Workshop does with that, because they have a Night Lords kill team, and it's pretty cool models. Despite it being similar to Legionnaires kill team, but Chaos Spacemarine Legionnaires kill team, but Night Lords. Who cares? It's Night Lords. Great source of bits and Marines. Alright, I'm tired. I think I'm going to head out for the night. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.